hours.
And so I say to America, I want you to remember our past. This past will give you direction for the future. Just as our people in our past, we are the spirit of the future. The spirit of this land lies rooted in the history of Native people. The massacres that happened to us, the army that came, took our land and killed our people, did not destroy our vision for a strong future. We are still strong, America. We never weakened. Like the spirit of Chief Joseph, we are still strong. Like the spirit of Geronimo, we are still strong. Like the spirit of Crazy Horse, we are still strong. America, we are strong people. Like the spirit of Pelletier, we are strong today. As we were thousands of years ago, in the pages of history, we are strong. We were born strong. Our spirit is strong. We are still strong. We are still strong, America. Look about you and look at the Anishinabe people. Look at the Lakota people, at the Dene people, pushed around again in this century, pushed off our lands, trying to take yet what remaining area of land that we have left. But we will not lay down, America. We have never laid down in the face of struggle. We shall never abandon our past, nor shall we ever abandon the spirits of our people. Like the spirit of Chief Joseph, we are still strong. And the spirit of Geronimo, we are still strong. And the spirit of Crazy Horse, we are still strong. And all those who went before us, knowing that the seventh generation down the road would remember them, we are still strong, America. We are still strong, Anishinabe people. And when we look at the Sac and Fox and the Winnebago, north to the Eskimos, south to the Cheyenne, and to the Arapaho, and to the Tulalip, to the Ojibwa people, we are strong. And I want every book about Native people to be truthful, to tell the truth of what our people did, to tell the truth of who we were, and that we never laid down. And I want the history books to remember us as being a strong people. We are strong. Mother Earth gives us that strength. Our grandmother, the moon, gives us that strength. Our oldest brother, the sun, gives us that strength. The four-legged, the deer, the buffalo, and the elk give us that strength. The winged things, the eagle, the hawks, and the owl give us that strength. And as I look about this world in the four directions, I see the many colors of humankind. I see the many colors of people. And that's what makes us strong. That's what we believe in. That's our love. We are still strong. In the spirit of our people. In the spirit of our ancestors. Gone long ago. We are still strong. And just like an eagle flying high, a reminder to the four directors that we were born strong, we are strong, and when we leave this world to go to the spirit world, we will leave behind a culture and a tradition for the seventh generation. We will leave them the stories and songs of our people, of our struggle, of our ceremonies, and of our women. And when we leave them, we will know that they will be strong, still strong.
Hello, this is Dennis Banks, visiting here in the great Seattle, and getting ready to do a big run across America, motorcycle run across America on reversing diabetes. And right now I'm taking a cruise up to Alaska, see some friends of mine up there, and visit with some people up there about different native issues, and then coming on back. I've been doing a lot of traveling over the past year. I've been to Brazil, I've been to Europe, and in Japan. And Japan is a very interesting story, because I first went there in 1954. I stayed over there. I was married over there. My wife, Japanese wife, and we had one child. So I go over there. I go over there once a year, sometimes twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year. I have a small business over there with wild rice and maple syrup. And I do business with a man named Masao Yamamoto. And we've been doing business now for years, but I've known him for 25 years, and Takeo, of course, I've known him for 40 years. And now I'm on a tour going up to Alaska, as I mentioned earlier. But I'm going to be talking with a lot of friends that I've known over the years from Washington State. Of course, members of the Janet McLeod family. Delbert, my friend Delbert, was in a car accident a while ago. I'm in his family. I want to see if I can see them while I'm here in town, and just visit with a lot of friends and movement people over the years, people who are in the movement of sorts, not necessarily the American movement, but people who have been in the trenches, people who have been walking their talk, and trying to promote Indian affairs, trying to get the Indian issues out there so that more people will be aware of why do we protest things. And I think the more that people begin to understand what our path has been about, then they will realize why we do protest certain issues, certain agendas, and certain political parties. We've been through a lot. Every native person, every tribe, every nation in this country has been, there's been a time where we've had to actually run for our lives because of the invading settlers who are coming our way. And now, after 500 years, we're still feeling the pain of a lot of those actions and activities. But the pain does not. We don't dwell on the pain every moment of our life. Of course, we're building centers. We're building community centers. We're building centers where people can look for. Do jobs. We have job training programs in a lot of the upper Midwest states. And people are graduating from many of our universities and colleges, tribal colleges that began. I think the tribal college movement began in 1967. Herb Blatchford and a lot of people on the Navajo reservation, had started that, and at the Rough Rock Demonstration School, that was the beginning of the tribal colleges, and also of the effort to make our own schools, develop our own schools, and have our curriculum on there, so that we're not learning all about how it was, when Pratt was trying to, get rid of kill the Indian culture and Native people, at a Carlisle Indian School where they started this whole experiment of trying to educate, civilize, and take the savagery out of the savages, so to speak. And there was a big kill the Indian, save the man. That was their motto. So I'm here in Seattle, named after a great individual, and we visited the Suquamish people before, and I'm sure we'll be visiting them again. So now I'm on the road here talking with Raven. So, Raven, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just wondering from our last talk on I've got some people that have shared interest in joining the ride for diabetes, and I wanted to talk because I like I said, I have been myself talking to people about sugar as you called it a drug, and how it is killing us. And I remember years back when you came, you were talking about how our people are not even going into the grave full people anymore, and that really stuck with me. And I wanted to see if you can share a little bit more about what this ride's going to entail. I know that you're going to write legislation, I believe, on your way to Washington, D.C., and then you're going to present it to, I guess, the president or people in cabinet. I'm not sure how that goes, so I was just wondering if we could talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Raven. Diabetes is very serious. We for 34 years, not 30 or 40 years, we've been hearing about, diabetes, and now it's becoming very common household name, and that is terrible. When a disease becomes household name, and what did he die of? Or what did she die of? Diabetes. Oh, are you taking your sugar today? Are you taking your pills today? Are you taking your medication? All this talk about medication on sugar diabetes. When we had heart disease, I never heard people talk. Oh, are you taking what's your sugar level? What's your glucose level? It has become one of the most disruptive diseases ever because it started to change our lifestyle. Because our cultural lifestyle, it's changing. Many dancers, fancy dancers, singers, people who we rely on to be part of the big the festivals that we have, the powwows, and they can't dance anymore. And the singers, if they're diabetic type, I'm talking about type 2 diabetes. I'm also a type 2 diabetic. And I know what it is, and that's why I talk about it so fiercely, is because we have to do something about it. It's killing us. It is changing our lifestyle, and that's if anything has been more dangerous. It's been this one particular disease called diabetes. It is changing our lifestyle. And here we've had the wars with the Chimukamans, the Long Knives, all these hundreds of years, and they try to round us up and put us in boarding schools and try to change our thinking, and they did. They manipulated a lot of people to become Christians and go to different beliefs. The Lutherans, but still the Christian. They're all Christians, and so we've changed. A lot of our people have followed those, but a lot of people didn't as well. We still have Midday Society. We still have the Shakers. The tents. We still have all of these. We still have the Uipis, the pipe ceremonies, the big drum ceremonies of the Ojibwa people, and we're still. There's a resurgence in our language. Our schools are now making it mandatory that we speak our languages, that we have our native teachers who speak our language, that they be instructing our children. There's a resurgence in having our culture be strengthened 100%, 1,000%, and bringing on all that we need to the storytellers. And what about the medicines, the herbs and the roots and the medicinal herbs that we need desperately to find and to help us, with our daily diet. I don't think we should think about curing, unless we cure it by a method of our diet, and that is bringing on a strong diet filled with a lot of vegetables. And if it is red meat, then let it be deer meat, let it be buffalo meat, but also fish. Our fish, the lakes are being contaminated now, so there's a mercury level in almost every fish that is born. So we even have to watch how much fish that we eat. So we have a lot of obstacles in front of us. Diabetes is a major obstacle, and if we don't understand how we can defeat it, what is the cure for diabetes? The cure, of course, is prevention. And how do we prevent it? We prevent it by eating good foods. We got to get off the daily use of fry bread. I'm not against fry bread. I'm sure we can have it once a month or once a week. But this constantly, if we keep having it, there's a lot of sugar that goes into making fry bread. So sometimes the sugar content is higher than that of the store-bought bread that we buy. So we're bringing that sugar in. I make fry bread myself, and I use that. I think I use like about 8 tablespoons of fry bread for about. I make like about 50, 60 pieces of fry bread. So, but the recipe called for more sugar, but I'm cutting less and less. So it is changing our habits. If we just a moment here, Raven.
Yeah.
Hold on. Could you ask a question? Or ask.
Well, I was just thinking about what you're saying about the fry bread, and then it's a part of what you were saying earlier about the 500 years of the genocidal approach that's been happening to Native people across the world. It's a part of that whole mindset with when it came here to change the Indian, what you were talking about, and it's and that's a part of the cycle of trying to kill the native person is with the foods and the commodities. And like you just said, I like fry bread too, and I like to eat it, but I know that because of diabetes and I'm watching what I'm eating, but I won't put like peanut butter or whatever else on top of it. I might just eat this plain piece of fry bread and not put any jelly or anything, because that's more sugar that we're putting on top of it. And so I myself am concerned, and so I've been watching things, and like you said, I've been eating a lot more vegetables, rice. The
wild rice. Yep.
The traditional diet is the way back to health.
Mm-hmm.
And so
and a lot of exercise, Raven. We've got to stress that the exercise is very important to it. And I know a lot of people who really don't have to exercise, because especially some of the people that work in the casinos, because they do a lot of walking. Our security guys walk and walk and walk, and they walk probably about 5 miles a day on a shift. So there's some things you can do, exercise at your own work. Of course, if you're working at a desk, if you're working in some sort of administrative position, then you got to take time out to go out walking, get that adrenaline going, and getting fight that sugar intake that you've been messing around with breakfast. And we got to, what I like about having breakfast in Japan is that there's a lot of vegetables that they have for breakfast. And when we have, I'm in a hotel right now, and I'm going to have a free breakfast. And I bet you anything, there's one vegetable on that plate tomorrow morning. So I'm going to have to go to a store and bring in my own vegetables. And I've been doing that. I've been carrying vegetables with me. So
it's so important to eat vegetables and to exercise. Yes. And going back to the traditional way is that our people they moved around. Mm-hmm. Like if you see some of the old pictures, they were big and strong. They were out in the elements. They were in the canoes, on the horses. I mean, they were big, strong folks. And it hasn't sedentary is what I'm thinking, because I sit at a desk and I really try really hard to get up and move around, especially with my eyes and my legs, because if I don't, I think it could go crazy.
Yep, you will. And Raven, the longest walk of 1978, I saw, and we have pictures of it. All the men and women that were running, they were thin, and they're slim and thin, and they were ready to go. And they were strong. It's long distance runners. But you take a group picture now, man. We are overweight. There's no question about it. And I think that's one thing that we shouldn't hide behind. Like being saying it in a nice way. We've got to admit, that our health is not as good as it should be, and so, walking a healthy road, and we got to do that. Another thing is alcohol and drugs all across the country. It's in a rampant state of events out there with the sugar. I mean, with the alcohol and drugs. And drugs they're getting harder. They're getting stronger. They're not satisfied anymore with with a hit of marijuana. They're going to move up to, pretty soon they're taking shots, and they're going to create their own high. They're going to create their own form of drugs. So it's an uphill battle, but we can't give it up. We cannot lay down our weapons. We cannot lay down, and say, okay, just let it go. Let the drugs take it over. That can never be. We shall never do that. We can never take that position. So Raven, I really have to go right now. But when are you on next?
Next this Sunday, and then I'm gonna get this one ready, and I'll put it up on the 24th.
Okay.
Have it there, and I appreciate you taking time, Dennis. I know you're busy.
Okay, but I don't know where we're going to meet. I'll call you, Raven. Maybe you can see where we're going to rendezvous to kick off the. It's going to be Sunday anyway, on the 20th. I don't have this in front of me. 23rd is a Saturday.
Yep.
24th and.
Yeah. So this our little visit will be on the 24th. We'll have that out on the 24th, right after you get started.
Okay.
So just real quick, how can people help?
Well, they can money's always out there. We're looking for $10. It doesn't cost very much to fill up a tank of motorcycle tanks these days. But if they could come out and they can bring us some gas cards, that would help. You don't have to bring money. Bring a gas card. Get $20 gas cards, and and like that. and make a pledge. Let's make a pledge that I'm going to come back here. I'm going to come back here in 2 years from now, and I'm going to do a walk, and I'm going to see how many people are living up to the pledge to give up on sugar, give up on smoking, give up on drinking, and no more drugs.
Okay, and so we'll keep in touch, and I really appreciate it. You taking the time with us. So